It's only 3 out of 162, but the Cubs should be losing that time.
Yeah, we yelling at the screen every Sunday night. Talk slick, throw the remote, we just want it right. Front office tripping, man, they can't get it right. Whole city heated, but we still gon' fight. We talking Bulls trade, biz drafts, missed calls, club slumps, soft rebuild. We seen it all. Yeah, we live, yeah, we gritty. I'm a little frustrated, but I still love my city. Yeah, north side, south side, west, we united.
Welcome back to Holy Cow, Chicago Cubs podcast here at the First Rate Chicago Sports Fan Channel. This team is up and down. This team is Jekyll and Hyde. The closing in the first third of the season, while we're losing. And to punctuate this road trip, losing the first half of the Red Line series. You want to say Red Line? I say Red Line. I like to call it the Red Line series. I don't particularly care about crosstown classic, crosstown series, whatever you want to call it. I mean, you take the Red Line to both 35th Street and the Asset, the park's right there. I don't know how many steps it takes to get to 35th Street from the turnstile on 35th Street. I don't know if those steps are less than the steps that it takes to get from the Addison turnstile to the gate at Wrigley, but it's negligible. You could call it the Red Line series. I don't know. I feel like you missed an opportunity for unique Chicago branding when this thing started back in the late 90s. Anyway, getting off track. I got to give props to the White Sox. I don't like to. Really, I hate doing that. It's almost not as bad as giving props to the Packers, not as bad as giving props to the Brewers, Cardinals, or even NC State Wolfpack. True is true. Well, I don't have to lie. And I give props to them. They are a decent ball club. And I'm so happy that I put that bet in on the way that division, because I can't tell you, I do not see any other team in that division beating them. They are a true ball club. Or anybody, the argument we had last week about who's the best shortstop in the city, those are typically walking very spots in a big spot. That's what happened today. Carson Montgomery, I would take Daniel Quincy versus anybody. But with the game tie and Marconi in scoring position, it counts to make the call. Daniel, still on first. Let's just face mirrors. Props to Montgomery, props to Marconi, props to Vargas, props to all those that have 35th Street. Chris Getz, it looked like he put together a decent squad. The rebuild might finally be over on 35th Street. I did not like saying that. With all that being said, it's still only one baseball team in Chicago until otherwise proved. Let's go ahead and recap the whole series, give out game balls for the series, and who needs to step up. Series got kicked off Friday night on 35th Street. Like I said, at I don't know what they call it, the park now, Comiskey, whatever, New Comiskey. Cubs won 10-5, extending their Chicago winning streak to 19 games so far. Evan Cabrera got off to a shaky start at first, but the offense had his back. You know, the offense that had been struggling on the road trip, Texas and Atlanta, they finally woke up and they pounded out 14 hits. And at that point, I'm saying this is what was ailing them, because they need to get back to Chicago. This probably was wrong this thing with the offense. They need to be back in the Bundy City. They need to be back around good pizza, back around the official Greektown, back around the Atlanta Battalion Beach. They got 10 runs off of 14 hits, and they scored an impressive 6 runs with 2 outs. Unfortunately, that's where the good times ended. Game 2, the White Sox got their lick back. They won by 5, 8-3 blowout. At the beginning of the game, I'm hearing Steve Stone talking about the win going to be a factor in this game. That it should benefit the home team, the White Sox, because they're used to this. That they should benefit the White Sox. I'm like, Steve, is that the only team that's Chicago? Is that the only team that has a park that's affected by lake effect winds? Are you sure that's the only team that's going to affect? And he kept saying this like Sox are the only team with any type of real power. And I'm like, Steve, you used to be a Cubs broadcaster for a long time. I started watching Cubs. He was the Cubs broadcaster over there next to Chuck Area. So I must know the White Sox and Fiesta Park are not the only team that was benefit from a power surge due to wind going out. I know that, Steve. So that kind of pissed me off. My bad. Maybe you do need to because 5 home runs later, the Cubs got that L. James and Tyon Another 5 home runs given up. That is, I think he's given up 16 so far on the season. 16, major league leading. Bro, I like Jalen, but that is not conducive to winning baseball. Not conducive, not whatsoever. As we've seen plenty of times this year in, year out, bats are out one game, then they kind of regress the next game. So I say, okay, no big deal. No big deal. They got out. They had their ace on the bump anyway. I expected the White Sox, they will win a game in this series. They will be that game on Saturday. And it felt like the game was over in the very first inning. Vargas, their third baseman, he hit a massive 3-run bomb. Cubs offense couldn't do nothing against Davis Martin. He went 6 innings, allowed his 1 run, struck out 7, walked anybody. I mean, the room was about him. So he was electric. Shout out to them on that. The finale today on Sunday, one of the most electric Cubs Sox games since Michael Barrett put his fist in old boy face. It was a roller coaster game. It was hot for the Cubs. They scored 3 immediately off of the White Sox starter fan. He didn't make it out of the 4th inning. That first inning was real stressful for him. I think he had just about 35 pitches in that first inning. The Cubs scored 3 all time. Fortunately, they should have gotten more. They should have gotten more. I know the Cubs scored a lot on the Sox bullpen on Friday. So you might have thought they did a little bit more opportunity for the Cubs to get more down the line after chasing this guy out. They should attack Teddy more. There's no excuse for the amount of times today and the season that we left food on our plate, left runners in scoring position and didn't get them over the stat in the game where they said the Cubs lead the majors in runs scoring that were walks. That's great. We need more of that, though. We need more of that. Because ending with the game ending the way it did, 9-8, and a walk-offs in the 10th. We're just thinking about all the opportunities that we left on the table. 2 for 15 runners in scoring position. 2 for 15. They left 13 men on. And why that's important? And why that's important that we need to score runs when we have the opportunity to is because of guys like Phil Maton in the bullpen. We cannot afford to let the game be hanging in the balance with somebody like that coming out of the pen. Greg, I don't know why he's even coming into the game in a high leverage situation. Yeah, in 2 years, gave him a lot of money, and he has been garbage the whole way through. We're about a third of the season through. We're more than 40 games in. And this guy, whatever we do at the trade deadline, attach him to. Whatever big name he's going to bring in, I know we're bringing in a big game. There's no opportunity. There's no reason not to bring in a big game. Don't do that shit you did last time. But whatever big name he bring in, attach him to the outgoing. Send him on wherever he's got to go. He's a former Astro, a former Cardinal. He's a sleeper cell. I've come to that conclusion. He's a spy. He's trying to take this from the inside. Gotta go. He gives up a 3-run home run in the later stages of his game, puts the White Sox up 7-4. But they down for Michael Ford. He played hero at the top of the ninth. After Miguel Vargas had an error trying to make it out on the throw to first base, Michael Conforto comes up and hits a 3-run home run to dead center. Through all of them leading. Puts it out there. All you saw was a pro running and just for no reason because that guy right over his head. Big moment Conforto. See, he's been balling. He's been balling. If we're talking about Phil maybe being a horrible addition to this team, Conforto has been everything the last months of the season. He's been everything. Every time you call it his number, he's come up clutch. Man. I did say last month. We're going to forget everything before that. Just put that in the box up here. Get it? Don't worry about it. So he hits that home run off of Sir Anthony Dominguez, Cubs back tied the game. And then we go to the extras because Dave Valencia, he has no issue with Murakami, Meredith, Montgomery, and Vargas. He gets them guys out. We go to extras. That thing the Cubs do. They get out of that top half of the inning with the 8-7 lead. They basically loaded twice. They had 2 on with no outs, and weak grounder after weak grounder to the left side. We only were able to get scratch across one run. That's been the Cubs issue. We're not doing enough right now offensively to make sure that we are consistently winning these games. We go to the bottom of the ninth, and Ryan Robinson is the guy to take the mound. His 3rd straight day of work. He gave up a walk-off home run to Eguacuero. White Sox take the series. Congrats to them. The Cubs did it to themselves. Talking about the guys who stepped up and the guys who need to step out of the line, possibly for a little while. Let's start off first. Carson Kelly was the MVP of Game 1. He went 3 for 5, 4 big RBIs, including a clutch soft single in the fourth to drive in a run, and a 2-1 double in the 8th. Left-handed pitchers can't do anything with him right now. He was the spark plug that the offense desperately needed in that game. In fact, he's been pretty much ever since the Cubs signed him. That's another great offseason addition. Michael Busch, he had a great showing as well. He particularly in Game 3, he had an absolute laser beam or a 2-run home run in the very first game of the game. The Cubs an early 2-0 lead, and he's been constantly making hard contact. And when he's locked in, this lineup looks completely different. He's currently on a 19-game on-base streak. I think the last time he didn't reach base was the first game of the San Diego Padres series. 26 total bases in that span. He's hitting 260 during that time. On base percentage is about 50. Not the highest numbers in the world, but we like to see consistency. And through consistency, we can see real life production. And we know the type of production you like out of Michael Busch, playing balls from the seats. Now let's talk about the worst stats. It's about to be pretty ugly here. Hide your kids. James Taillon. Game 2. Nightmare. He pitched 5 innings and gave up 5 home runs. Bombs to Vargas, bombs to Colson Montgomery, bombs to Benintendi. He gave up 2 to Mercado. Because you know what else in the line you got to watch out for is that guy. And he got tagged twice. He leads the majors with 16 home runs allowed, and he's on pace to set the major league record for home runs allowed in a single year. Bro, cut it out. He's constantly in 3-ball counts and leaving pitches middle away and and over the plate. Come on, guy. We got too many pitching injuries right now to have a dead duck at the back of the end of our lineup. We need everybody to pull away. I know we might be asking for a lot, but James Taillon, you take out of spring training as one of the stars over Colin Burke, over Ben Brown, over Javier Assad. You were getting the ball to be the guy having today. Colin Ray is pulling his weight. Ben Brown is exceeding that. Javier Assad is doing what he's supposed to do when he gets his opportunities too. Come on, Dome. Lock in. Phil Mason, I already told you. I already want him locked in. I want him out. If I wanted to be the guy stretch guy, high leverage in a 7-8 inning. But it's another bad outing for him. Tristan Peters hadn't hit a home run all season. And he decided to choose now to tag you. He put your shit outside. The Pirates went off because of you. I'm done. I'm done with them, mate. Send him back to St. Louis. Send him back to Houston. Send him back to San Diego. I don't care. You can't send him to Iowa. I don't want him in the farm system. Get him out of here. It's enough. We've got enough of Phil Mason. I know he's on a 2-year deal, and it's probably not conducive to do business that way. But I'm trying to win this year. I don't care about next year. I'm about this year. Everybody knows just look at high school ass fastball and just put that shit out. Put that shit on the park. Put that shit outside the park. I was hoping Ballesteros could get a lot of shots to break out of his ball this series with 3 straight righty star. But for whatever it takes, Craig had no belief in him like that. And that sucks right now because the middle of the board can definitely use somebody who's swinging bad. Especially when you got Ian Happ Suzuki who could basically go 1 for 11 in Game 3. The Cubs need somebody. And I was hoping that he would find a way to get out of that funk this series. If you're going to do it any series, why not this series? You had 2 pitchers who were begging to get lit up. The thing with baseball is you got to have short memory. The disaster of the road trip, 2-6, is over. Let's go back to the crib where the Cubs are on an 18-game winning streak, and let's welcome in our biggest rivals. Go from the city rival to the biggest rival inside the division. The Beer Boys, the Milwaukee Brewers. This series is for first place. After losing 3 straight series, Rangers, the Braves, and the White Sox, the Cubs absolutely need to forget everything that just happened and reassert dominance. They bounce back against quality of home. The good news, again, the Cubs have been the best. And really, after the 3-game series against Milwaukee, the Cubs will get a much-needed day off to reset the bullpen before the Houston Astros come to town, sweep them. If they're having a down season, get them by you. Put the Braves out. It's fifth sweep of the season. I'm calling it out. Craig Counsell needs to figure out what we're going to do with this bullpen. Brian Allison, we can't keep bringing him out there on 3 days rest. That didn't work out in our favor. These next 2 series against the Brewers and the Astros are going to be a massive test to figure out how you do bullpen rotation. I'll be back after the Brewers series to recap that series and yell into the microphone again. Hopefully after some wins, flat it up.
Appreciate you tapping into this latest episode from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel. Don't matter if you was watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify or Apple. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with everybody on the block, and hit the notification bell so you never miss none of our daily drops. And to all the guys from the shy, we say 3 things. Bear down, fly the W, and sell the team, Jerry.